Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here, and you know what's funny? Is that Phoenix Wright, in the 4th game, which I'm playing right now, he's also wearing a beanie, like me. It's not red, yeah, but it's a style of beanie. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Because technically, in the last couple games, I believe Phoenix Wright is the same age as me, 35, and I'm like, Everyone thought I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, just want to be clear, I'm no lawyer. I'm not fighting in the courtroom or anything like that, but I'm just saying with the beanie part, it's kind of like ironic that we both have beanies, I guess. So today I'm going to be speaking about my experience on the Ace Attorney series and showing you some of the games I have as well, and talking a little bit about my experience on the games that I played so far. So I'm gonna get back to this game soon. I'm still playing this right now, and I'll say a little bit about that. I'm going to say my experience without putting too much spoilers in the whole thing. And plus, there's a lot of things that happen in these cases that I don't remember every single one of the details, so I guess that helps that, okay, I experienced this and that, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that without spoiling too much, so you can find out for yourself. But if you're anybody that's working in the criminal justice system, or anyone that likes crime fighting or mystery solvings, or... So the first 3 games I played in the Ace Attorney series is Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright from 1 to 3. So the names of all 3 of these games are the following. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright's the first one. That's the one that started it all pretty much with the whole Ace Attorney series. Then is Ace Attorney Justice for All. And then is Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. And each one of these games has their own prosecutors against Phoenix Wright. So let me just show this box art real quick. Let me see. This game on the Switch has all 3 games. But previously this came out originally on the GBA, but only in Japan. Then later on, they got ported to the DS with touch features and stuff. And that was also localized in the States as well. All 3 games, as you can see here in the screen. So these 3 games were separate and stuff like that. And they were all part of the first 3 games that came out for this series, the Ace Attorney series. The trilogy, mind you ask. So yeah, you see that is in Japanese and everything, like everything else is in Japanese. But thankfully the Switch is region free, so if you really want to get started with the series and get this game, all you have to do is just buy this game, import it, put it on your American Switch, and it will automatically be transferred to English. That's what I like about this whole thing. It never was actually localized technically. It was never localized as well, this game, but it had an English translation, which I believe that the digital front had this game, the trilogy, yep, but it never had a physical release, if you know what I mean, if you catch my drift. So for you to experience these 3 games in English, rather you have to import this physically, or you have to buy it from the eShop, which I got this physically off a friend of mine a few years ago. It wasn't like 2 years later until I finally started playing this game. Started playing this game around June of 2022. So basically the synopsis of all this is that you're an attorney. You're there trying to prove a client's innocence by gathering evidence, just like you do in an actual investigation scene and stuff like that. It kind of gives you an idea of it as well. The only thing that is not like realistic and stuff like that is like how some of the people act and stuff like that. You know, some of these characters are pretty weird and unrealistic in an actual court system, definitely. And another thing is that, you know, this whole objection in the anime where you say, objection! Yeah, you see that sign there? And then in the anime, like some sort of gust of winds blows up and you blow the characters off so they can slam against the wall and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. This game didn't have that though, but you know, the whole objection and the whole pressing and stuff. I mean, realistically, you would press someone for more questions. You know, if somebody is giving their testimony, right? And you find like some sort of contradiction within the testimony, which is what you're trying to do in the game, you try to find out exactly everything that's going on and find the truth. Basically, the whole premise of the entire game, all 3 games, is finding the truth of each cases. And then you get a colorful cast of characters I like in the game they have a list of all the characters, their names, their age, their professions, all listed there, so you can have that information, and then all the list of evidence, where you got it from, how did that happen, and stuff like that. You use these evidence and people in the court system, in the court battles in Ace Attorney, pretty much. So basically, this is a pretty unique game. The whole trilogy, I actually played it from June until October of this year. And as soon as I finished the first game, I went straight to the second game because it was very addicting. I really liked the backstory of all the characters, like Phoenix Wright, Maya Fey, Miles Edgeworth, and all that stuff. And they all have very good character development over time. I like the prosecutors as well, like this guy Franziska von Karma in the second game. I'm not gonna get too much to her because that's spoiler territory there in case you wanna play it for the first time. And then the third game is this guy called Goddard with the visor and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll just tell you the real basic things about them. So Franziska von Karma is the girl with the whip, and she loves to whip people in the court system, which she should have been arrested for assault for actually doing that, to be honest. And then Goddard is like drinking 17 cups of coffee in every trial and stuff like that. It's like, that's crazy. It is from Capcom, by the way. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know about that. And there's not really any other games like it in a form of a visual novel, because this is also a visual novel. I believe this is kind of inspired by the Famicom Detective Club games as well, that they got the idea from them to do investigative research and investigative cases and stuff like that in order to solve the mystery and find out who the killer was. And I'll tell you this right now, pretty much all the cases in the Ace Attorney games are all murder cases, because those are some of the most serious cases. They're the ones that, like, okay, somebody murdered someone, like in Among Us, and then you have to find out the truth on who actually killed the people. So it's kind of like Among Us. Among Us kind of like got some ideas from Ace Attorney, perhaps, because it came way later than Ace Attorney, of course. Ace Attorney came out in 2001 for the GBA. Then on the DS with the touch features, and also got localized, and then it came as a trilogy. It also was, if I'm not mistaken, iOS devices and PlayStation Store and Xbox Marketplace and stuff like that. This thing has been available in all the modern platforms and stuff, even the 3DS, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I'm holding this for this long because I'm still talking about the game, but I'm just telling you right now, I really enjoyed the whole premise of the court system and try to figure out how someone is innocent. You play as a lawyer and stuff. Even thought that it's not what you get from this game is only like the surface level of what it is to be an actual lawyer, because there's a lot more to go being an actual lawyer than being Phoenix Wright, of course. But it gives you some ideas on how testimonies work in the court of law, some of the definitions that they say about how the court system works. It kind of gives you a lot of knowledge on this thing as well, and how to investigate, how to analyze and everything, and how to find clues. So it could give you some ideas, like you don't have to study criminal justice to actually know about these basic things, because it could give you some knowledge in like future cases in some way, shape, or form. I wouldn't say like completely for sure, because this is a fantasy type of game as well, because there's a lot of things that won't happen in real life within this game, like the objection stuff and the gust of wind that shows up, but you get the idea. So yeah, I played and beat all 3 games. Very amazing. Like literally after I beaten this game, I really wanted to find out more about the lore of the Ace Attorney series, so I got into this game, which I'm still playing right now, Ace Attorney Uphold Justice. So basically, this takes place 7 years after the events of the Ace Attorney trilogy, after the events of Trials and Tribulation, which was the 3rd game. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil much more of the games. I just want to give you like basic facts about what the game is all about. Gave you some video screenshots and all that stuff on how the game works, and there's a lot of memes that are made within the Ace Attorney franchise as well. There's a lot of like memes. I mean, there's a lot of jokes going around with Miles Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright and all that stuff. It's quite comedic, I must say. Even though they're serious cases, but they manage to keep you entertained, keep you laughing a little bit. It makes you kind of like more interested in finding out more about how all these cases, all these investigations and trials works. The surface level, as I must say. So yeah, basically in this game, I'm just gonna say this right now, instead of Phoenix Wright, you play as this new lawyer called Apollo Justice. I'm not gonna say anything else besides the fact that Phoenix Wright has gotten much older. This is what he looks like in the game, so he also has a beanie as me. That's where I got the beanie reference from the very beginning of this video. So you get the idea. Phoenix Wright and I have my facial hair, I have my beanie. It's red, yeah, his is like light blue or something like that. And Phoenix Wright has more facial hair here, so he's not a lawyer at that time. He's more of a poker player, but I'm not gonna spoil any more than that. So you're gonna have to play this in order, because if you play this game before this game, there's a lot that you're gonna be missing out later on down the road. So I definitely recommend you play the trilogy first. You get the Switch or the PS4 or Xbox version, whichever one you prefer. But if you want to play on the go, definitely go for the Switch version. Play all 3 games, enjoy it. Definitely a lot to be played. I played over 60 hours in this game, enjoyed it a lot. And now I'm in the final trial of this, which I'm not going to get into at all. But let's just say things get pretty interesting here. That's all I'm going to say. And what's going on with the rest. And I did also recently downloaded the Doll Destiny game and the Spirit Trials or something like that. The 2 Ace Attorney games that is digital only on the 3DS eShop. I managed to get it at a discount for under $5 a piece, I believe. It was pretty cheap. I had a really good deal, and I had said, yeah. And the thing is, I didn't have any funds on the eShop. So basically, you're gonna have to, if you want to add funds to your 3DS eShop today, you're gonna have to first add the funds in your Switch within the account that you're gonna put it on. And then if you merge the account with their feature that they have in the Switch eShop, you can merge it with your Wii U and 3DS eShop. And then you can get the funds there and you can get the last 2 games. And I suggest you get it ASAP, because it's going to be closing next year in March 2023. And the fact of the matter is that there's no physical version of those games. Honestly, I'm still looking for Phoenix Wright X Professor Layton on the 3DS physical, and it's been pretty tough to get. I may have to get the digital version if unable to get the physical version before then, so that I can actually play it, because I really want to see what that game's all about. But I want to have it in my personal collection as well, because I really am quite hooked in the Ace Attorney series. I still do not have Miles Edgeworth's Investigation for the DS yet, nor the second game that never came out here. It's like, you know, I guess the Ace Attorney games are not that big here, and they certainly are not that big anymore these days. So it's a lot more popular in Japan, just like One Piece is in Japan compared to here. But yeah, I'm gonna show you this last game here. This is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicle, which originally came out for the 3DS, but for some darn reason never got localized to the States whatsoever. I don't know if it got localized digitally. I have to check again, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. But regardless, the 2 games that were on the 3DS of this game got released locally here. So it looks like the Ace Attorney games are starting to have some shine in the light again. This came out last year pretty much, so this was a pretty recent game. And it has new cast of characters. This is pretty much a spin-off. It's its own series, so you don't have to play this game at all if you want to fully enjoy this. You can play that in any order that you want. But I plan to play this after I beat all of the Phoenix Wright series and the Apollo Justice series. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to the Miles Edgeworth series before this, because first of all, I don't have this game yet, and second of all, it's non-canon. So anything that happens there is like separate from the main story, I believe. And you play as Miles Edgeworth. It's like without Phoenix Wright, you could say. But yeah, I believe pretty much the ancestor of Phoenix Wright, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. So that's the main character in this game. I don't know nothing about this yet, but it does follow the traditional court system and stuff. And there's a few changes, I believe, in the modern Ace Attorney games that I have no idea what they're about yet, because I'm still only up to here, still the classics, you know, of the Ace Attorney series. I've been playing the game one by one, and I really enjoy for the type of game that it is. You're not gonna find almost any game that is like these franchises. These are the only 3 games I own so far, because these games are hard to get in the wild now. Like, I can't find these games anywhere. I did found the trilogy separate on the DS of this in the Video Games New York, but I already got this, so I don't need those other 3 games, to be honest. I just needed this, and eventually I'll get the Miles Edgeworth at some point. So what you guys think about the Ace Attorney series? Rather it be Phoenix Wright, rather it be Miles Edgeworth, or rather it be Pole Justice, or Ryunosuke, or whatever? Or even Maya Fey, that was a lawyer before Phoenix Wright became a lawyer, that she was his inspiration. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, this is the girl in the picture. One of my favorite female characters out there. I like her way more than Maya Fey, because she's mature. She definitely knows how to work miracles. She's an inspiration to Phoenix Wright, which is another favorite character of mine. I like him more than Apollo Justice, obviously. But yeah, that's my review and experience, because this is not really a game collector type of thing, but more like my experience so far with the Ace Attorney series. When I finally get to finish this game, or get far in this game, I may make another video talking about the difference between these games, these modern games, and the Ace Attorney games, without having to go to too much spoilers. So what you guys think, comment below your experience with the Ace Attorney series, what you like about the franchise, or if you're new to the Ace Attorney series, hopefully I could do well to recommend you to play the trilogy first, because definitely you could get it super cheap digitally if you could find it well. Definitely you could get it pretty affordable price. Or you could even download it free to play in the Android and iOS devices, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't say for sure if that's the case. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. I hope that you enjoy. If you find this video informative and you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to comment below your experience, like I said. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to find out more new videos I upload on this channel, and to find out what other game series collection videos I plan to show off in the near future, plus gaming stores I could introduce as well, and other stuff in Magbo Gaming. That's all I have to say. I hope that you guys continue to hunt. Good luck with the games that you're trying to find. Hope you can find them very soon, and good luck with the hunt. See you next time. Bye bye. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, here are some other videos I have I believe you enjoy as well. Get fired up and gaming to your heart's content. See you there.